Good evening and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Reverend Barbara, and I am so delighted that you're here today. So let us join together in consciousness as we begin this evening's event. I relax into this moment, quieting my mind, accepting that here and now there is but one eternal presence, one infinite creative power, one divine mind fully realized in, as, and through each and every one of us. And as we come together this evening, the idea of this divine power and presence is fully realized and expressed through conversation, through the message, through the meditation, through all that we do together and as we move off into our daily experience. What I know today is that this time together is truly a gift. And so, filled with love and peace and joy, knowing that all is well, I release these ideas into the law of mind. Knowing it is done, I let it be so. And so it is. And now, Kathy.
Good evening, everyone. Our land acknowledgement is we work, live, and play on the historical and traditional territory of many nations. And as we gather on Turtle Island, we as settlers are grateful for the opportunity to meet here. And we thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years, including the Métis, Inuit, and all other Indigenous people. Also acknowledging that as we grow and expand on these lands, there's still unresolved and dangerous inequality and discrimination toward our BIPOC and 2SL LGBTQ+ family. By making these acknowledgements, we strive to be allies and take an active part in reconciliation. We recognize our oneness, we realize our history, and we choose to create a new reality. We are one. And our vision is transforming the world through the emergence of the sacred, authentic self. And our mission is to welcome you as you are, where you are, without judgment or criticism, providing a sacred place of learning and growing as you seek to achieve your greatest dreams. We accomplish this by offering Science of Mind classes, social events, inspiring workshops, thought-provoking services, and practitioner support. We honor the revelation of your emerging sacred authentic self through our positive messaging and loving support. Let us now prepare for meditation with Rev B.
So just sit down and get comfy. Well, you're probably already sitting, but let's get comfortable, placing your feet on the floor, closing your eyes if you're comfortable, and just taking a deep breath in. And as you exhale, just feel your body relax into your chair. And another deep breath in. Just settling a little bit more in that chair, letting go of the day and any concerns, any challenges, anything going on that might distract you. Just let it all go and know for the next few minutes, there's nothing you need to do. Know where you need to go. Taking another deep breath and allowing your breath to now follow its natural rhythm. There is a power in this universe that is fully present at the core of my being, the core of your being. As you begin to take your awareness to the center, to your heart center, to that place of deep abiding power. Begin to feel the energy of this infinite source. And allow that feeling to travel through your body from head to toe. Feel the vibration of life flowing and moving. And this energy, let's name it love. Imagine the color to be a soft pink. Pink light that just illuminates every cell, lifting, raising consciousness to a place of true and lasting oneness. And as you feel this energy and as you allow this to permeate all that you are, imagine for a moment a challenge or a difficulty that you might be facing at this moment, whether it's health, relationship, grief, fear, whatever it is, just allow yourself to surrender that into this glorious light. Feel your body relax as you know that this power, this divine energy, knows you, accepts you, loves you. And that because it is powerful, because it is all-knowing, whatever answers you seek, allow them to rise into your conscious awareness. Whatever you need to do, wherever you need to go, whatever you need to be. Allow the intelligence of the universe to permeate your consciousness. That whatever answers you seek, they're right here. That intuitively, you know exactly what to do, when, where, and with whom. And with this understanding, feel a deep sense of peace. And allow this peace to move through your body, to move through your mind, to become your current reality. This loving energy that fills every part of your being is life. Always present, always available, always right where you are. And taking a deep breath in. Bringing your awareness back into this space, knowing that life is a continuous expression of constant change. That something about this day and this moment is moving forward in a remarkable way. And that change is here and now. And when you feel ready, opening your eyes, coming back into this moment. Change, the only constant in the universe, the thing that we can always count on. That whatever's going on, give it a minute and it's going to change. Well, today the talk is called Power versus Force, and the inspiration came from a book by David Hawkins called Power versus Force. And he writes, humans think that we live by virtue of the forces we can control, but in fact, we are governed by power from unrevealed sources, power over which we have no control. I think we sometimes forget that there's something more going on in the universe than what we can see, touch, and feel. And because of that, we get into a lot of the, well, how's this going to work? Or why did that happen? Or how do I change this? And the hows and the whys are not answers that we're going to get. But it seems to be where we try to force things to happen in a way that makes us feel happy in the moment. He describes power as arising from meaning. It has to do with motive and it has to do with principle. Power is always associated with that which supports the significance of life itself, where force always creates counterforce. Its effect is to polarize rather than unify. Polarization always implies conflict. Its cost, therefore, is always high. Force requires constant defense. Power within us is the divine, and force is from our ego. Power unifies and force divides. As we explore our world today, we see mass division, and it is our responsibility. What we're striving to do, I would hope, is to create greater unity. So, we're journeying along, we're taking a look at the world today, and it feels really, lots of division, right? Lots of stuff going on that divides. And what we want to do is find ways to come together. We want to find ways to go back to source, to begin to look at life from a new vantage point. We're all creating in each and every moment, but we're creating from the consciousness that we possess in any given moment. So whatever that looks like, that's where we're creating from. And if we are living in a place of, I have to have it my way, which, sometimes we do, when we're living from that place, we're often going to find ourselves struggling. Now, we might accomplish a lot, but a lot of what we accomplish might cause us hardship in the end. So we want to just look at life a little bit differently, begin to see how something that looks really awful could somehow bring some good. So when we look at the world today, it's on fire. I don't know if you've noticed, but everything is burning. And that suggests to me that we as humans have been forcing our agenda onto Mother Earth. And Mother Earth is going, not working. So we're beginning to look at how can we begin to change things. And sometimes we think, well, I'm only one person, what can I do? But when we realize that there's a power within us that's infinite, that is all powerful, that we can tap into that and begin to see what our path should look like, what our next steps should be, we begin to see that rather than trying to force our personal egoic agenda, we could in fact surrender into the divine. So instead of looking out at the world around us going, okay, how do I change it? Let's go within ourselves to the true power that we have. Rather than forcing an agenda, begin to slip into that power of the divine, where we can begin to experience life from a new place. There is within us knowledge, intelligence. We're part of this incredible universe, right? This one infinite creative universe. We're part of that, not separate from it. It isn't something that, shows up if we behave properly. We're living, moving, and breathing it in every single moment. So if we relax into that, we can give up our agenda. We can give up our fear, doubt, and worry. We can give up the what ifs, the whys, the hows, and begin to just go within. Stop looking at a world that's already been created for answers. The answers aren't there. For something new to happen, we have to come up with a new idea. And that's from that power within us. So when we look at the world today and we go, oh, it's broken, it's flawed, it's this, it's that, it's the other thing, we actually lower our vibration, and we're in a very dark place. Okay, we're in that place, the lowest possible consciousness, which is what he talks about in his book, Levels of Consciousness. So that's a very low level of consciousness, and most of us go there, at least occasionally. What we want to do is raise our vibration, and we raise our vibration by looking at our practice, the way we live moment by moment and day by day. Are we living in harmony with the very essence of ourselves, or are we living from reaction to the world around us? And when we're living in that place of reaction, we are actually using what he would call the energy of force rather than the energy of power. So power, sometimes we think of power and we go, oh, look at all these powerful leaders who are doing terrible things, or somebody exerts power over someone else. That is not power, that is force. Power is that divine energy that only does good. Like it, whatever's happening from that place of the divine, whatever is going on is for our highest and best good. So when we look at the world right now and we go, yeah, but it's burning. Yeah, it is. And that should be a hint to us human beings who have created the rising temperatures in our earth to begin to look at how we live life and what we might be able to do differently. We want to take a look at the world from a little bit different place. The Tibetans, they have a saying that tragedy should be utilized as a source of strength. No matter what sort of difficulty, how painful the experience is, if we lose our hope, that's our real disaster. And that's from the Dalai Lama. Joseph Campbell says, whatever calamity arises, if you bring love to the moment, not discouragement, you'll find that strength is there. Any disaster that you can survive is an improvement in your character, your stature, and your life. So when we look at the things that are going on, and every one of us could sit back and say, well, this bad thing happened or that bad thing happened in my life at some point in time. But if we take a look at that and go, but I'm here now. I'm here now. What's happening now? Do I feel a sense of connection and possibility and life and love? Do I feel good? I mean, I can look at my life and go, yeah, I've had ups and downs. I've had challenges. I mean, today I fell down a flight of stairs. Yeah, didn't feel so good, but here I am, right? It is what it is. Every single thing that is happening in our life today, everything that has happened in the past has brought us to the now moment. If we can sit in this moment and go, now what? With curiosity, with a willingness to accept, we can begin to listen to that internal wisdom, that internal intelligence, that divine oneness. We can listen and we begin to get inspiration, ideas, thoughts, things that we can do to move us forward. We can begin to change. We can begin to change the way we view the world by changing our own perception of reality. So that's the journey that we're on. We're in this place of what can I do differently? What can I do to create something out of what has occurred? Because what's occurred is already done. We cannot change what is. Okay. So when I look around, I look out my window from my office, it is what it is. If I want something different, then I have to start at the source. I have to go back within myself. So the daily practice that we have means everything. It's taking ourselves out of conflict, taking ourselves out of worry, stress, anxiety. When those things happen, taking the time to breathe. Yes, breathe. We think we do it all the time, but we do it sort of up here, very shallow. What we want to do is take a deep breath and just feel that entering our body, and feel the hope and the peace that it brings when we actually fill our lungs. Taking the time in silence to let go of the outer distractions that tell us the world is burning, oh no, to a place of going, who am I in all of this? What is this saying to me? What is this speaking to me? What is mine to do? What am I to be in this moment? You see, we are powerful. We forget that sometimes. We forget that the power of the divine, the power of the infinite, the power of the universe is here, not out there. It's right here. I have it within me, and I can tap into it and use it at any point in time to any measure. But it's up to me to use it. It's up to you to use it. To sit back and go, okay, here's what the world looks like, but let me shut that off for a moment, and let me go inside of myself, and let me take some time in the silence, and let me listen to that still small voice. Let me listen to the inspiration that's coming and actually act upon it, right? Because sometimes we get inspiration and then we go, yeah, but, and we ignore it because maybe it doesn't fit with our perception of reality, or it doesn't seem to work in the way that we expected it to work. And sometimes we see interruptions as bad and wrong and terrible, rather than a time to reassess. When I fell down the stairs today, I was asking myself, okay, what was I thinking about right when that happened? You know, what is that bringing me to? What is it telling me? I don't have the answers yet, but that's fine. It is what it is. I could sit and dwell on it and go, well, this is not fair, or this is terrible, or, you know, there's something wrong with the stairs, or I could come up with all kinds of excuses. But the reality is that something in me has created that opportunity, not for me to injure myself, but rather for me to assess, where am I in this moment? What is it that I'm seeking? What is going on? So rather than calling it bad and wrong, yeah, it hurts, but it is what it is. And I can't change that, but I can look at this moment and go, now what? And it is in taking back our power. When we feel empowered, we can do anything. We can overcome anything. When we feel low and discouraged and depressed and frustrated, in that moment, we're powerless. We're in a place of creating more discord. And what we want to do is unify. We want to wake up. When I had my spiritual epiphany so many years ago, it was in a moment of great darkness. My life was a mess. I hated life. I hated everybody in it. And I was angry all the time. And it was a moment of illumination in that church where all of a sudden it was like I could see for the first time. And it was in seeing that I knew God as love. I knew this universal energy as intelligent and positive and beautiful and warm and inclusive. And it included everything and everyone. And it was this beautiful unifying power, infinite in scope. And I could feel it at the very depths of my being. There was no part of me separate from that. And then from there, the journey has been how to live from that place. And some days are easier than others. But when we have a moment of awareness, we can always return. We can always remind ourselves. Yes, it appears that life can be hard sometimes. It appears like the world is burning at the moment. We look at the village of Lanai and go, Lahaina, I mean, excuse me, and go, whoa. We look at what's happened in Alberta and what's happened here, what's happening in BC, what's happened in Nova Scotia. The world is on fire. But it doesn't do us any good to look at that and go, oh, it's bad, it's wrong, it's terrible. You know, the companies did this or people did that or whatever we want to blame or excuse. What we want to do is stop all of that and come back into our core and ask ourselves from that place of power, of that place of passion, of that place of purpose and possibility, what is mine to do now? Where am I in this grand scheme? What am I going to bring forth in this moment to create a life that is glorious and wonderful? That even when there's bumps in the road, I don't lose hope or faith, because I know that this too is taking me someplace that I don't know about yet. At a certain moment in Nietzsche's life, the idea came of what he called the love of your fate. Whatever your fate is, whatever the heck happens, you say, this is what I need. Wow, way to go, Nietzsche. It may look like a wreck, but go at it as though it were an opportunity. Challenge. What if we took a look at our life and went, today is an opportunity for me to view things from a new perspective, instead of forcing my egoic agenda on everything, to instead surrender into a place of pure power and intelligence and possibility, into that divine mind, and go, yes, I am willing. I'm willing to be what I've been called to be. I'm willing to stand in what I've been, created to stand in. I'm willing to look in the mirror and go, yes, yes, you are in fact created perfect, whole and complete, unique and special like everyone else. And to live from that place of power and potential and possibility, rather than the limitation and the struggle and the strife. To stand in this moment and say, I take it on, I take all of it on. I am responsible for the world today. And so I'm going to live in a place of receptivity to the information that is there. The universe is all knowing, all powerful, and fully present where I am. So I have the ability to tap into that, to open up to that, to be a receiver of that, as are you. Are we living from a place of power, or are we living from a place of force? Are we trying to make the world fit our agenda? Or are we living in the energy of oneness and allowing ourselves to be an integral part of the solutions of all that's required as we move forward, knowing that everything we think, say, and do is impacting everything else? Are we ready? Are we ready to do that, to be that, to allow that? Are we ready to stand in a place of personal power and accept that change is happening? Are we ready? Are we willing to be the change we want to see in our world? Big questions, big questions. Power versus force. We are powerful beyond measure. There's nothing we need to force or manipulate. And trying to create from the problem only expands it. We have to go back to cause, what caused whatever's going on, and change from there. It requires a new idea, a new vision, a new possibility. So take a deep breath and know that you are powerful, creative, intelligent, and divine, and that all that you have need of already exists right where you are.